Alright, so it started, so yeah. So I actually have a list of questions for you right now,
Oh boy.
plus the notes of the... I had some notes, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I did. Alright, so here's the questions. So we're just gonna start off with the simple, like, how are you?
I'm okay. A little tired today. It's been a busy week. So
Oh.
that's all.
Alright, so now we're gonna have some questions about your channel.
Sure.
Alright, so when did you start your Console Wars channel?
Um I don't know exactly when I started it, but I know the first video of Console Wars was posted November 2011.
Oh, okay.
So that's yeah.
You like started like way before most like popular like YouTube content creators.
I started in the retro video game community,
Yeah.
I guess you could say. I started a little bit later than a lot of the big names in the retro video game community, but I guess I started
Right.
earlier than most
Yeah.
because of yeah.
All right. So third question technically, why did you start the Console Wars channel?
I started the channel because I had this idea. I was listening to old video game music as I do in my free time, and then I thought it'd be interesting if this of another creator would compare like Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo games, and then I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if they did it, and then I was like, you know what, I should just do it. So you see a need out there, and then you decide to fill the void yourself. That's kind
All
of what I
right.
did.
So this question was kind of at a guess, kind of, but what was your intention of using Nintendo and Sega as the Console Wars subjects?
Nintendo and Sega is because those are the consoles I grew up with, specifically Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis,
Yeah.
and those consoles have the most different games
Yeah.
from any generation that's ever come up through video games. Like even like Xbox and PlayStation games, they're not too different. But like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, you can have completely different games, even though it's called like still like Flintstones or something.
Yeah.
So it was just really interesting to me.
No, that makes sense. Like, because, like, Nintendo and Sega, like, Nintendo's, like, still thriving, like, with the Nintendo and Switch and stuff. But since
Mm-hmm.
you're, like, a retro gamer, you're more, like, on the classics, like the 8-bits,
Mm-hmm.
2D platformer, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, so this is kind of, like, I think this is a good question, I'm not sure. But why did you prefer to choose Sega instead of Nintendo as, like,
It
on your
was
sites?
it was just kind of default. I was actually in my original idea I wanted to be Nintendo, but my buddy who I was doing the channel with, he never grew up with a Sega, and I grew up with both, so he didn't know anything about Sega. So he decided to be Nintendo. I was like, all right, I'll be Sega. So
Alright,
it was just it's just kind of by accident.
alright. So, um, this is not the last question, but this is the last question on the notes. We still have like a paper of questions left. So like, when did your channel really start to spike up? Like when it like started to like grow?
When did it really start to grow? I guess like I always joke about this. Like it took like a year and a half to get like 50 subscribers,
Yeah.
and then it took about another year to get about 1,000. So I'd say like a good 3 years before I really started to notice the numbers started to go up.
Okay. All right. Also, that's actually like when you hit 50K, that was like cool and like stuff. How'd you like feel, by the way?
Honestly, I mean it's nice, it's great. Nothing really changes though. You
Yeah.
still get the same people, and you don't get that shiny plaque or anything. I
Yeah.
guess maybe once 100,000 if I ever get there. That'll be awesome. But like 50K kind of feels like 10K felt like wow, 5 digits. Like that was really impressive. Like 50K just feels like another 10,000. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All
it's kind
right.
of like more of the same.
All right. So now we're done with the notes, I guess. So let's just. So we're gonna start off. So these questions are actually from Nitro, like Nitish.
Okay.
So, how did you two think of console wars? Like,
Yeah, like I said, I grew up with Super Nintendo and Sega
yeah,
Genesis, and the games are so different, and I thought it would be really cool if somebody else did it, and then I just decided to do it myself. I met up with my friend who was the original Nintendo in the series, and I
yeah,
just talked to him about some ideas I had to compare video games. I went home after talking to him, and I decided it'd be fun if we both played characters on a series. And then I wrote him a long, excuse me, I wrote him a long email after I met with him, and then ever since then we kind of just did the series. This I'll be Sega, you be Nintendo. And then he left, and then I got somebody else to play Nintendo, and that's where we are now.
mm. Alright. So, I don't know if this makes any sense, kind of, but why did you choose each other as the main characters in Console Wars? Like,
What do
there's
you mean
like,
exactly?
like, there's a lot of characters in, like, the series that you guys make,
Hmm.
but why just specifically chose yourself and, Pat and that other person?
That other person. Greg was the other
Yeah,
person.
correct.
Honestly, it was just like, who wants to do this? Who can I get to do this with me? Because it's such a silly, absurd concept. So I needed to find the most silly, absurd friends I could do. So Greg, who was the original Nintendo, was that guy. And then after he left, Pat was the just the next like logical choice because he just seemed like a really goofy guy and
Yeah.
he'd be down for this goofiness. And then like myself, I don't know, I just always thought I was funny, so I'm like I could do this, and
Yeah.
then I realized maybe I'm not so funny. I better work on my humor. So I guess that's why I picked those characters.
Alright. So this is my favorite question out of all of them.
Okay,
What was your favorite game and why?
favorite game, like in the show I've done so far, or like favorite game just like in general.
Like in general and why?
In general?
Yeah.
Oh wow, actually it's a Super Nintendo game. Even though I'm the Sega guy, my
Yeah.
favorite game is an old Super Nintendo role playing game called Chrono Trigger. Um, why? It's just an amazing game. It just had so many leaps forward in the role playing game genre.
Mhm.
It just looked amazing. It was super fun. It had a high replay value because it was one of the first games with a new game plus.
Mhm.
I love the music. I love the way it looks. I love everything about Chrono Trigger. It is like the perfect game for me.
Yeah. Alright, so here's another favorite one. Like, who is the fan favorite in the show? And like
Who's
your
the
like
fan favorite?
console.
It depends. I mean, since I've been with the show since its beginning, like everybody knows me, and Pat's kind of the new guy at this point. And you know, Greg, who left, still has his fans. People like bring Greg back, and so you know, it depends.
Yeah.
Also, people pick sides. That's the whole point. I wanted two people, so like if you like Nintendo, you'll pick the other guy. If you like
Yeah.
Sega, you'll most likely pick me. So it really depends. I'm just gonna go out on a whim and say me because I've been with the show the longest.
Alright, so this question we already answered, and let me just do this. So, what's your favorite hobby? Like, what's your favorite pastime to do? Like, when you're not making videos?
When I'm not making videos, well, you would know this. It's music.
Yeah.
I love playing music. I love playing in my bands. You can see a couple guitars right behind me over
Yeah.
there, which you see during your guitar lessons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, music's just, it's that outlet that is very essential, especially since I'm so busy making these videos, and it's really great just to get away from it and just rock out to some good tunes.
So, what are your future plans for the channel? Like, do you have any future plans?
Not really. Just kind of keep doing what we're doing, hoping the channel grows. I mean, I would like to do more conventions. We're in the age of COVID right now, and
Yeah.
a lot of conventions are canceled. So hopefully we can do that. And I would love to do conventions in other places other than the East Coast of, of America. Like I would love to go to the West Coast because the West Coast has some pretty solid conventions, especially Portland. Portland has an excellent retro gaming convention that I would love to go to.
Surprising thing, I actually never went to a convention. I like really want to because like they seem so like cool and like everyone's happy. It's fun there, and you can embrace what you like feel, kind of.
Yeah, they're really fun, especially the smaller ones. I feel like the big ones, like Comic Con,
Yeah.
it's like a little too big, it's a little too crowded, and then the smaller ones, especially like if you have like a specific thing like on YouTube, like then most likely you'll be able to like meet the content creators that you're a big fan of, and not only meet them, but like have pretty solid conversations with them because they're not constantly swarmed by people. You know, they'll
Yeah.
have like a lot of people, but then they'll have a lot of moments when they're free, and you can just go up to them, and talk to them, just like regular people. So whatever your thing is, I highly recommend trying to find a convention of it once all this COVID stuff
Yeah.
is going away.
Also, I heard like mostly conventions can be like everything, like coin collecting,
Yeah.
furries. Alright, that's a weird one. Okay. And is there like a music Comic Con, like about music and stuff?
I don't know specific. I know there are music conventions. I don't know exactly like what kind you want to go for. Like I know my buddy, him and his wife have a music studio, so they go to like a music teaching convention. So there's like just like a bunch of people of that. Yeah, so there's most likely something you could find. There's my partner Pat, who I'm doing the channel with. He's actually doing I think he's doing a punk convention, so that's sort of music related if you like punk music. So yeah, whatever your thing is, there's most likely a convention of it.
Yeah. So like, okay, here's another question. This is the second to last question, and then there's like some on the back.
Okay.
All right. So, how long does it take to make each video, like detail to detail?
It takes a long time. It's a very long process. I'm going to walk you through it just so you can understand how much time it takes. So first of all, it's my series. I compare two games. My series is called Console Wars, which third.
Yeah.
So I got to play both games, and more than likely I got to try to beat both games because I want to try to get everything, find every difference between these two games. So playing the games, then I got to write the script, and that just again all the differences. Then I got to do voiceovers, and then after that, I usually finish the script because then I got to write in all the skits with all the jokes, which is what I love doing the most. And then we film it, and then after that, I got to do the hardest thing, which is editing. And editing definitely takes the longest. That's just like the most amount of work. Because I got to just make sure everything is just as perfect as possible. And even then, like the latest video I did, there's a couple of mistakes, and it's like, oh man, how did I miss that? Like I put so much time into it. So editing is a big thing, and then once that's over, then it's like done. All in all, if you ask me like a timeline for that, it's somewhere between 2 and 3 solid weeks. If I do it every day. If I don't do it every day, I can space it out to a month, which is what I try to do because I don't want to overexhaust myself for this at this point.
It takes that long for like when I make a video. It at least takes like 2 or 3 days because like I skip the scripts because like I just want to embrace myself as me being dumb, but I just like embrace myself, say whatever I say. I don't do the scripts. It's just more time consuming for me. I'm not the type of person who's like really patient. I'm like impatient. Greatly, and that's like a big like something bad, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that's understandable. It definitely takes a lot more time to write a script. I guess the thing for me is these are characters. It's not supposed to be me, so it's like exaggerated versions. So they're going to be in these absurd situations that I would never find myself in, mostly like because they're impossible, because they're not real situations.
Right.
So I just like to come up with these silly ideas, and like I said, that's my favorite part, is just coming up with like the most absurd, the most ridiculous situation to find myself in. So for me, it's a little more than just like improvising. I definitely want to like try to figure out the funniest solution or problem for the video.
All right. Well, that's good. So this is the last question. Did you once feel like quitting YouTube?
I mean, there's definitely days where you just feel burned out because you've been working so hard, and you're like, why am I working so hard? Just for this? Just for a few thousand views and likes? So there's definitely days I'm just like, ugh. And especially when my first partner quit, I was like, well, I guess I'm quitting now, but I really enjoyed it. I liked it more than I didn't like it. You know, the good outweighs the bad, so that's why I keep going. So that's why I've never quit up to this point.
All right. So these questions are now on music related.
Okay, sure.
All right. This is written by me, by the way. So, how much experience do you have on the guitar?
I have a lot of experience. I've been playing guitar for 24 years at this point,
wow.
So it's a long time. I started late though, so you started much earlier than me. So if you keep going at this rate, you'll be better. Been playing guitar for a long time. I've been in a bunch of bands, original bands, cover bands. Right now I'm in 2 tribute bands. Obviously can't really play out due to COVID. Had so many gigs lined up, but COVID stopped everything. So
Also, sorry. Carry on. I was gonna say something.
I was saying I was in a lot of bands. I also went to college for music, so I have experience with like playing all different instruments because I went there for education. So I had to learn how to play every instrument. That's why I teach piano. I teach your sister piano. I still like playing piano. It's the only instruments I actually practice are guitar and piano right now.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of experience.
I actually forgot what I was gonna say. That's sad. Anyway. Alright, let's see here. Do you like teaching the guitar?
I do. It's a really rewarding experience, especially when you guys get really into it, and then like I could just see the progress being made. Like one week you'll be struggling on something, and then we'll get together the next week, and you just nailed it. And I'm just like, that's awesome. To me, that's the satisfying part of the job. Just seeing you guys get over any difficulties or hurdles, and just seeing your progression.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy the most, definitely.
Yeah. That's like.
Yeah, I hope, because it's, I want to be the teacher that gives you the skill set to be able to do things on your own, so you can play whatever you like. Kind of like you're doing the Mario Brothers thing right now.
Are you gonna be like those teachers that like at the end when they're like students are like at least like 24 or 34 going like a live band and they're like, this is for my guitar teacher, and then they start playing.
Yeah. Yeah, if you invite me to that show, I'll definitely do that. I'm not at that age yet. Like my oldest student, like just finished college, so he's not like on tour right now. But maybe one day.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So I think this is some piano questions now. So.
Okay.
How long do you have? How long have you played the piano?
I have not played piano as long as guitar. I started playing maybe 6 years after I started playing guitar, so a little less. And I didn't go to school for piano. I never took lessons for piano, sort of self-taught. I mean, I had to take 4 semesters of piano when I was in college, so I definitely have experience with it. But like I don't have as much experience as guitar. Like to give you an example, like in college, I had to practice every day. For guitar, I'd practice 3 hours every day. Piano, I'd practice half hour. So I'm much more efficient at guitar than I am at piano. But actually, since COVID, I've actually been practicing piano a lot more, just really trying to get better at that.
Yeah. Alright, so let's see what you have. Oh yeah. What do you focus more of? On piano or guitar?
That's a, kind of just answered that. Like right now, practice-wise, I'm definitely just trying to like really get better at piano. I'm listening to a lot more like Chopin at the moment right now, so I really want to. That's what I got right here, some Chopin just right here. But I'm still practicing guitar too. I'm actually doing one of those things where I'm going to record myself, and then I have 4 other buddies playing different instruments, and then we're all going to put it together into this thing. It's a Metallica song, and I don't really play Metallica too often. I haven't since I was a teenager, so I gotta really practice how to play fast. So working on that right now too.
Alright, so I'm pretty sure this is the last question. Let me check. Oh wait, this is the second to last. So how does it feel to be like a YouTuber with over like 50,000 subscribers and know 2 instruments or like more? I don't know.
I mean, it feels pretty cool. I mean, like it does. It's weird because being huge on YouTube doesn't like you don't feel that in your everyday life. Like I'm not going to the grocery store and getting like mobbed. Like, oh my god, it's the guy from YouTube. Like I'll wear a Console Wars mask and nobody will know who I am. Like it's only at conventions where I'll go and people will be like, oh my god, you're the guy from Console Wars. Can I get a picture? Can I get an autograph? So that's really the only place I feel like the effects of like the subscriber numbers, but in everyday life, you don't really feel it because, I mean, yeah, you're reading a lot of comments, you're getting a lot of feedback, but it's, anonymous people over the internet is very different from people you can meet face to face, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I like conventions so much, because you do get to interact with the fans and just, they just kind of unload on you, like, why they like you so much. And, it's nice to actually hear somebody say it as to see it typed over the internet by some stranger. So, yeah. And as opposed to, I mean, when it comes to playing 2 instruments, it's just cool, So keep practicing because it makes you feel cool.
Yeah. Also, I kind of forgot, but behind you, is that like a big row of like cartridges?
Yeah, you can't really see it like that. Over there is Super Nintendo, and then like my Sega cartridges are lower, so you can't actually see them.
Yeah.
But like, there's like 3, I guess just like shelves of like video games, like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis specifically. I got my PlayStation games over here. This whole room's full of video games, and then got like another room with more PlayStation games. There's a lot of video games around.
Also, this is just a question for me. Like, when you like get like a Sega Genesis or like a Super Nintendo, do you have to like hook it up to like an old TV?
That's actually a really good question. Usually you do, but I don't. I actually have. Let me see if I can get this over here. I have this. It's a SCART converter to HDMI. So what it does is you hook this thing up to the back of your console,
Yeah.
hooks up to here, it has an HDMI out, and that goes up to your TV.
Oh.
So I don't have to do that. There's also other HDMI converters you can buy too. You don't have to buy SCART because that can be a little pricey.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't have the proper components, you do have to play on an old TV. But there are plenty of things you can buy to play on an HD TV.
Alright, so also, before we start with the last question, because like I don't want to end it so soon, I actually don't know the time is. Like, have you ever like had any bloopers on your videos? Like any mistakes?
All the time. I mean, there's mistakes on videos that like I'm supposed to take out and like I should have seen. And I do, for patrons, I do make like a separate blooper reel from episodes because me and my buddy, we just goof around the whole time, and we think people will enjoy that, and people do. But if you want to see it, you do have to pay for it. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing.
Oh yeah, by the
But,
way,
there's
you think you should wait, actually carry on. Messing up.
I'm just gonna say there's some bloopers I have put on the channel that people do seem to enjoy.
Are you gonna like make like a full video on like bloopers, just like bloopers on what you did, what happened, stuff like that?
I do for the Patreon. Like every time an episode is filmed, like as I'm editing, I'll take out the bloopers and put them in a separate file, and then once the episode's done, I'll just work on the bloopers and put them all together. Like this last episode we did, it's about like 25 minutes long, and the bloopers are about 12 minutes. So it's a good chunk of bloopers we got there.
Yeah. All right, so now this is our last question.
Okay.
I can't believe it's ending so soon. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so do you have any like quotes or messages for like any aspiring YouTubers or like wanting to know how to get more attention on YouTube? Do you have any like inspirational quotes or like messages for them?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, just keep doing it. You know, if you love what you're doing, then just keep doing it. You know, the audience will come. Don't worry about numbers too much. Don't focus on likes. Don't focus on dislikes. Definitely don't focus on negative comments. There are going to be negative comments, especially the bigger your channel gets. So you just got to kind of ignore the bad and definitely don't forget to take in the good. Because at certain points, it seems like sometimes you just keep taking in the negative feedback. And it's easy for people to be negative because they're all anonymous. So definitely don't give that too much weight. Just keep doing what you're doing if you love it. And, you know, don't focus on those numbers, but it will grow. And your channel's grown pretty well. You definitely got 100 subscribers before I got 50 when I started my channel. So as long as you love it, just keep doing it, and things should turn out fine.
Yeah. Before like I end this meeting and stuff, you think you can like play a song on the piano, like a hard song?
What's that?
Any like song you know?
Ooh, that's a tall order.
Think?
One, because
Yeah.
I have not practiced for this. Let me just do a little for Elise. Something like that. I was not practiced on the piano.
That's fine, but so I hope like everyone enjoyed this thing, and I enjoyed like interviewing you. It's amazing.
Tomorrow, yes, absolutely.
And well, it was fun. So bye.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow then.
See you.